Hey, what's going on? This is Stan, and I'm back again to talk about some more Magic the Gathering old school killer decks. But before I get started, I'd like to send my love out to all of you guys up there up north on the eastern seaboard. You know, I'm talking to you, Jersey. I'm talking to you, New York. You know, I like to send my love. I like to send my condolences out to anybody who's lost any loved ones, or, you know, if you've suffered any kind of tremendous loss, which I know a lot of you have. Just want to send a shout out and let you guys know that there's actually somebody down south that actually cares. Alright, now let's get on with the deck strategy. This is the number 4 most dominating deck of the old school. The Kird Ape Channelball. This was a Type 1.5 classic deck that showed up around spring of 94, and, you know, it kind of like dwindled away like around fall of 95. You know, kind of like around the time that we were watching Batman the Animated Series. Oh god, I miss those days. Anyway, what I want to say about this deck is, good lord, this deck was fast and it was nasty. This deck reminded me a lot of a prize fighter. It came on early and it came out swinging, delivering blow after crushing blow, with giant growth Kird apes or elvish archers. Or if you're feeling a little frisky, you can go ahead and use a giant growth Kird ape combined with a berserk. But that was just the groundwork. The brutal efficiency of the spells like the Time Walk and the Ancestral Recall, oh yeah, and the Time Twister, in this deck especially, kept this deck's motor running until it was time to get the channel. But if the channel was a little bit too risky to play, you had plenty of disintegrates and lightning bolts to pretty much plow the field, thus getting pretty much anybody who was a problem off your ass. This deck here was a Weenie Horde strategy's nightmare. At least it was for me. During much of the time when this deck was like really popular, Type 1 was all about speed. You know, there were a few permission decks around, you know, but most games in Type 1 that I remember from back in the day were all about who could kill who faster. This particular deck formula right here was by far the best way to do it, especially when you got your hands on the channel and the fireball. When you get your hands on the channel, you basically go ahead and dump your life into colorless mana. Then you dump that colorless mana into the fireball. If you have the life lead, odds are you will. All you have to do is just blast your opponent with one nice fat fireball and win the game. Most efficient players are able to do this early as turn 4, especially the ones that are extremely lucky with the draw, that they get all of the moxes, and they're able to play a land a turn. Oh yeah, by the way, I always hated those kind of bastards too. Good lord, how did you guys get so fucking lucky? Alright, moving on. In many ways, this deck began the drive for finding and building more efficient decks with speed and multiple paths to victory. This engineered deck taught a lot of people that you could win either with ground forces and buffed up creatures, and you can blast them away with spells at the same time. A lot of single path to victory decks were much less common after the success of this deck. So in a way, this is just my opinion, this deck actually kind of phased out strategies like the Big Beef Land Destruction. Now let me talk a little bit about the weaknesses of this deck. If you spring the channel a little bit too early, if you're going up against somebody who has a control deck and they manage to counter that channel, that could screw you. Be very careful when you play that. Usually people who play the channel are the ones that are getting ready to set up for the haymaker. You know, to be on the safe side, either wait for your opponent to have no cards in his hand, look at the table, make sure he doesn't have any annoying enchantments to screw you up, make sure he doesn't have any lands, because if he has like 2 or 3 lands untapped, you can bet your ass he's going to play a counter and fuck you up. Alright, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this deck. This was the number 4 most dominating deck of the old school. Kird Ape Channelball deck. Go ahead and give it a test run and then give me a shout out and tell me how you liked it. But of course, as time rolled on, a lot of other deck recipes came along that pretty much put the Kird Ape Channelball deck strategy to shame. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is Stan, and that's all for now.